Imagine you live in a city where the roads are falling apart. You need new highways and bridges just to keep everything moving. Your community also needs safe, functioning schools for children to learn in and hospitals for when people get sick. Normally, the government pays for all of this using the taxes they collect from citizens. But right now, there simply isn't enough money in the treasury to cover the bills. To solve this shortfall, the government relies on a power only it holds. It turns on the machines and prints the exact amount of money it needs. Remember the danger from our last episode? When you pump more money into an economy, but the amount of actual stuff stays the same, prices go up. Basic items you buy every day, like weekly groceries, suddenly cost more. This leaves us with a contradiction. If printing money naturally causes prices to rise and makes life harder for families, why is it still a primary tool for governments all over the world? The most practical reason is that a country has mandatory bills that must be paid to keep society running. Think about maintaining a national military force. That requires paying millions of soldiers, building equipment, and keeping bases operational. Often the taxes collected from citizens are not enough to cover these costs, and public expenses outweigh tax revenue. To prevent essential services from collapsing, the government prints new money, dropping this fresh cash onto the scale until everything balances. Beyond paying bills, governments also print money to rescue an economy that has stopped growing. Imagine a small town where people get worried about their financial future. Because they are scared, they stop spending entirely and start hoarding their cash at home. Without customers, local shops sit empty. The town's carpenter has no work, and the local baker is closing. An economy only functions when money is moving from person to person. When everyone freezes, the entire system seizes up. To restart commerce, the government prints money, pushing it directly into the frozen town to hire the unemployed carpenter. He uses his new cash to buy bread from the baker. The baker pays his driver, and commerce flows again, jump-starting the community. We saw how this works recently. During the pandemic, the global economy stopped overnight. People were unable to leave their homes to earn a living. Governments took action, sending printed money directly to citizens to ensure they could still pay rent and buy food during the freeze. But they have to be extremely careful. If a government leaves that money printer running for too long, they create a different disaster. When an economy is flooded with too much cash, the currency itself becomes less valuable. Every single dollar buys you less, causing the prices of everyday items to rise rapidly. Governments are walking a thin tightrope. They have to inject exactly enough cash to keep people afloat and spending without printing so much that the money loses its worth. That is why they do it. Governments print money to pay for national necessities and give a stalled economy the momentum it needs to survive. They are just constantly limited by the danger of inflation. Because printing raw currency is such a blunt instrument, governments actually have more precise ways to manage the economy. In Episode 5, we will look at interest rates, the system that controls how much we borrow and spend.